Hey guys, welcome to the 12th episode of Static Timing Analysis. We are continuing hands-on practical using the Open Timer STA. Today, we will dive into the design data analysis to Open Timer STA, where we will focus on two different modes of analysis. First one is based on the single pin instance data, and the second one is consolidated design data for the entire design. Stay tuned till the end of this episode for enhancing your knowledge on hands-on static timing analysis.
Hey guys, welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to discuss these points: reporting overall failing endpoints, reporting overall leakage power, pin-wise reporting of slew, slack, AT, RAT, consolidated reporting of slew, slack, AT and RAT, consolidated reporting of pin capacitance, consolidated reporting of net load, consolidated reporting versus pin-wise reporting, side-by-side comparison. That's the menu for today. So without any further delay, let's begin. Hey folks, we are back in our terminal and here we are doing the experiments for today. So let's begin. So these are the files. I am using the same test case as the last hands-on session. I am invoking the Open Timer. The Open Timer shell has opened. Now let me clear the screen. Let me do a fresh ls. So these are the file. Now I will load the file. First I load the library file .lib. Then I load the Verilog file. Then I load the SDC file. And then I load the timing file. I have loaded all the files. Now let me do the report timing. Now you can see that once I hit the report timing, all the things get processed one after another. So even if I load the files and don't do the report timing, the internal timing analysis process will not happen. That process has happened. So when it is happened, first time you can see there is a log created as you can see in this section, right? And then you can see that there is a section here that is reported one particular path for the timing violation. So let me clear. And now I will begin the experiment about accessing the design data. Now there are two sides of the design data. First thing is that you have the design component, the pins, the cells, and the cells will have slew, load, etc. So this is one kind of design data. This comes as the input design data or the structural design data. Now there is another set of kind of design data which is the output. That is when you are simulating the circuit will give some output. Those kind of data is like the timing. Already we have done the report timing and many other reporting. So one of the reporting is failing endpoint. So you can see the which endpoints are failing for the timing and you can report the leakage power. So first let me try out the failing point. How many nodes are failing? So let me hit the report and then hit tab here. So you can see here is the report failing endpoint. So this is very straight and simple. So when I hit, it gives the 4. The next one, the design data, that is the post simulation data, and the post one is the report leakage power. So if you can see, the leakage power has been reported here. There is another type of reporting that is much more structural. Now we will enter into that domain. First we'll do the pin by pin reporting and then we'll go overall entire design wise dumping. So first we'll start the pin by pin reporting. I'll pick one particular pin and on that pin I will iterate, because when we are in the static timing analysis, we come across the theories about the static timing analysis, and here in the shell, when we are doing the analysis. The analysis will be done by you, and you have to do the debug of the issues, and for that particular purpose you have to know how you can proceed node by node and pin by pin. So theoretically, what I mean that node by node, you have to go forward or backward in a particular timing path, and then you have to analyze where the subject to change can happen. How we are changing, I'm not discussing in this episode, but you must know how to proceed and traverse inside a timing path so that you can pick up the points where you can make the changes to wave off the violations. Now here, when we are having this path here, the path, you can see the path starts from input 1 and the path goes up to F1:D. So this is the input port and it is the data pin of the flip-flop. So let me pick this data pin of the flip-flop for our analysis. You can pick up any point. Here is you can see the rightmost column here. I'm hovering my mouse pointer. So here you can see at the rightmost column, all the pins are there. Corresponding cells are also there. You can pick any one of them when you are practicing. First, let me print out the slew. So I give the command report slew and then pin. Now it has given one value, but generally when we are getting, we will have 4 combinations. Okay, let me demonstrate you. Min here. Now if I process further, you can see this is the min plus rise combination. If I change it to fall, you can see the value changes. Now let me change min to max. So here I'm giving the rise, you can see here, and then I'm giving fall. So you can see there are 4 branches. These 4 branches have different branches. I mean to say the branches of this particular command, not your timing path branches. So here you can see the first value, the second value, the third value and the fourth value. So there are 4 set of values. And in last episode I have shown you that based on this particular column, you may get a difference in the reporting values or the different slacks. Because based on which particular transition you are picking, the rise transition or the fall transition, and the type of analysis, whether you are doing a min analysis or the max analysis, that actually invokes different values because they are physically different values from the particular gate or their pins or their rise and slew condition, which actually are picked up from the .lib file. Min is our hold violation and the max is the setup violation. At command line, we are using min and max, so we are not every time saying hold or setup, but rather than min max because we are traversing using the switches. So here we are done with particular the slew experiment here. Let me clear the screen. I keep the pin fixed and I vary the commands. Report slack. Then I give the pin and then I am writing F1:D. So here I just initiated another set of command how to report the slack of the pin. Now when I am experimenting and exemplifying this to you for one particular pin, it doesn't mean that you will stick to one particular pin. You can move to and fro inside a timing path from start to big end. So there you can analyze by your own. So here I give the min with rise. So you can see that this value was already printed. Now changes to fall. The value changed. Now I change max and then rise. Again you can see the value has changed, and here max with fall. So you can see if I am querying the slack of that particular pin, which is the data pin of the flip-flop, I can see that different slacks are reported based on the type of analysis, that is min or max we are choosing, and the corresponding transition rise or fall we are choosing. So accordingly all these values will be printed out. And in case you have no idea that how this value is coming, I have created one Tickle episode, the first episode of Tickle, how Tickle APIs work. There I have explained with infographics so that you can understand. So do watch that episode. I am providing the link in the description. Now we are done with the report slack command. Now for the same pin, what we will do, we will report AT, that is arrival time, for pin F1 colon D. Here we just print it. Now we proceed further again for the mean and rise. You can see that this particular value was only reported when we have given no further switches. So now again we change the rise to fall. The value changed, the AT changed. Here again when I changed, it's different from the previous two values. Here I am giving the fall, so you can see. Now let me bring my mouse here. So first value, second value, third value and the fourth value, each are different from one another. They may be close, I am not talking about that, but the numerical value, they are distinctively different from each other. So this way you can pick a particular pin. Now I am making the pin constant here and I am varying the analysis type, that is report slack, report AT. When you are analyzing a timing path, your analysis type will remain fixed and you will traverse along the path, thus changing the pins. So this is the only difference. So next is report RAT in F1 colon D. This is the RAT that is by default coming. Let me add the switches now. So this is the min plus rise combination. So min plus fall. So when I am bringing back the commands, I am using my up arrow in my keyboard to bring the command back. So here it is the max plus rise combination, and now I will see the max plus fall condition. Here you can see. So you can see that here first, second, third and fourth, these two values are close enough, these two values are close enough, but since the mean and max are the two different analysis types, so these two are far apart. So the values of mean, they can be very near to each other, and the max, they can be near to each other, but the max is very far from the mean analysis type. And numerically each value is different here, whichever reported here. So I will go for reporting the slew. And I am just clicking the values and pasting it here. So clues also can be picked up like this. And I am adding mean rise, mean fall, max rise, max fall. So you can see that I have also analyzed the slew for this particular pin, and these values are different from each other. For the max analysis, these values are very close in the sense of they are in proximity of each other numerically, and these two are also numerically in the proximity of each other. However, the max analysis data and the mean analysis data are far apart. This is the way that you can analyze a pin by pin data of a design. Now again emphasizing, I have kept the pin constant because I am varying the commands here. You cannot vary everything at the same time. You have to keep one thing fixed and vary another thing for your analysis. This is for demonstration. I have kept the pin fixed and I have varied the analysis type. So report slacks, report AT, report RAT, report slew. Case of actual design traversing, you will just keep the analysis fixed. That means whether you are analyzing the slew, you will keep the slew and vary the pin. That is how you traverse in the timing path. You get the pins I have already shown in the report timing command. So once you do the report timing, you get all the pins in a timing path. So timing path starts here. Here is the start point and here is the end point. So if you want to traverse from this to this, you get the first input, first pin here. The next corresponding pin is here. The next corresponding pin is here. Then you go downwards and this is the final pin. So if you want to analyze this pin wise, this path, you can use the same analysis. Say you are reporting slew, so you keep the reporting slew and whatever particular branch you are analyzing. So if you are using a max analysis, then you do the max, keep it constant and vary the pin and note down the data. So this way you can traverse along a path, timing path, and get all the data, and then you can think upon the data where you have to modify to root out the violation. So this was the analysis part of the static timing analysis. That is how you analyze. And now let me clear the screen. Now I will show you some commands which will dump different analysis data as a whole. You will see how this works. These are dump commands. Dump underscore and then hit tab, so all these options come. Another thing, if you want to just have a kind of command line manual, you can type help. So this will invoke the help. So you can see here all our dump commands are here and they have a single switch only, except this particular one. They have a single switch and all the dump commands gives output as a file. So you can see -o file. Whereas when we use this particular commands, report slew, AT, RAT, slack, they have a pin and then they have a division like mean or max and subdivision like rise and fall. So this is the difference between the overall dumping and the pin wise dumping. We vanish this particular. So I am typing dump net load, then -o net load dot. You can give any extension. I am giving report extension. So the data whatever with us in the live shell, that data has been dumped into this particular file. We will see how we can read them. So for that I have to open a terminal. I am clicking here another terminal. So here, so let me see. How many report file have been created. So netload.rpt I can see. Let me invoke that with vim. So you can see here the file is created So these are the branches. So this is the mean plus rise, mean plus fall, max plus rise and max plus fall. And here you can see the net name. So here it is this file you can get with a dump. So you can see all the nets are dumped and the corresponding loads have been dumped here. I'm closing the file right now and I'm going back to the OpenTimer shell. So this was our normal Unix shell where we are operating, and here OpenTimer shell is still alive. In the same way, we will dump Slack we have dumped the all slacks in the slack.report file. So dump 80, we have dumped the 80.report file. So we have dumped the R80. Another important dump command is dump pin cap. I have used the dump command to dump all kind of the RPT files. So here let me go back to the Unix terminal and do the ls report. Now you can see that we are in the same folder. 5 report files are there which we have created using these 5 dump commands. Okay, these 5 dump commands, we have dumped 5 report file and they are created in the hard disk, the working area. So the first one which we dumped is a net load. So net load I have already shown you. The second one is the slack.rpt. Opening the slack.report file. Mean plus rise, this is mean plus fall, this is max plus rise, and this is max plus fall. And here you get the pins. So this column is based on the what you are reporting. This column. So you have seen this particular file. So we'll do some comparison later on this session. So this is for 80, that is arrival time. We have mean plus rise, mean plus fall, max plus rise and max plus fall. And here you can see all the pins. So when you keep one particular analysis constant and you traverse along the pins, right? So you can also get the data from here, overall reporting. It's up to you how you proceed, how you like to traverse. You can dump the report and then by hands-on calculation you can traverse inside the timing path. The way is open to you. You can pick any method. So I am opening the R80. You can see the R80 file has opened, R80.report. 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Again, these are same columns already I have mentioned. And here the list of pins. We are, I think, major done. Did we missed anything? Net load already in the shown in the okay pin cap. Okay, let me open the pin cap. Pin cap.report. Again here pins are there and their capacitance values are there. You can see here the pin capacitance have been dumped. Close it. Grossly done with the part where we have dumped the data in two fashion. First fashion is that we are dumping the data pin wise when we are traversing pin by pin, and also we have reported the things as a overall to the entire design. So 2 ways you have already seen that how you can dump these things and play with these things. one option is going pin wise, another one is entire design wise. So both option has been shown to you. And the next part, we compare this pin wise versus the table. This is called a sanctity check. So this is, as a VLSI engineer, your duty is to check the sanctity of any report. So guys, let us proceed towards the side-by-side comparison. Here all the report files. Let me pick one file, and for that file I'll pick one particular pin. Okay, so let me grab the F1:D pin on which we are operating. So which one to pick? Okay, let's pick the RAT. It has grabbed the F1:D pin and the 4 column values, first, second, third, fourth, we have got from the output report file. So let us go back to the OpenTimer shell and let us do the one by one, that is pin by pin reporting for the F1:D pin. So let me do the access the data pin by pin data first, the 4 values, and then I will compare with the table values. So we are ready with the 4 values that we have traversed pin wise. Here we keep the pin F1:D fixed, and we have done the mean plus rise and mean plus fall and max plus rise and max plus fall analysis of required arrival time, RAT. So 4 values are here. You can see, let me now compare the values. So here you can see the first value is 21.833. So you can see this value is the first one. Now 26.5. Here it is 26.5. The decimal places is varying as per the printing inside the file or printing inside the shell. Next is 71.8. So this is approximately 71.8 if we round off these two. Okay. And this is 76.3. So this is also, if we round off the decimal places, this is coming as 76.3. So this way we get the 4 values of mean plus rise, mean plus fall, max plus rise and max plus fall in the table. So here I have grabbed one row from the table for the F1:D. So let me do it for another particular file now. Okay, so here I don't see the slew file. Let me dump slew. So the slew.rpt is generated. Now let me grab from the slew report file. So we have these 4 values for F1:D. So here report view So let me first get the values one by one. So here we have reported the slew for F1:D. Now let us compare with the 4 column values that we have in the slew report file. The first one is 0.0987. So you can see if we round off, these values come. 0.0365. Here is the value rounded off. I think the next decimal points are rounded off. This is 0.428. So this is 0.428. This is exact match. And this is 0.426. This is 0.426. So we have verified and checked the sanctity for 2 different type of reporting. That is, one is report RAT, that is required arrival time, and the slew for one particular pin. So this way we do the side by side comparison. I think rest of the files you can try at your end and verify these things. We will close today here. We are done with this side by side comparison. Thank you very much for watching up to this point, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. In case you have some dislikes, put that as in words in the comment section below. And bye for today.